To show you how I 3D modeled this turbine compressor wheel, first I'll roll back to just below the first feature, which is a revolved boss that I used to create the base geometry of the part. This feature used a simple sketch which used a spline to create the curve of the revolve. You might have noticed that the spline handles are blue, even though SolidWorks is declaring this sketch as fully defined, as shown in the status bar. You can see that if I pull on these arrows, the spline handle, along with the curve of the spline, moves. To truly define my sketch, I want to properly dimension the spline so that it can't move. The spline is already partially defined by tangent mates that I added to this vertical line. Adding dimensions here controls what's called the tangent magnitude of the spline. Now, I want to create a helix to add as a path for a sweep that starts at the same height as this tangent edge, so I used it as the sole reference to create a plane, and used that plane for my circular sketch to make the helix. This helix is defined by height and revolutions. It has a height of 2.6 inches and only completes 0.18 revolutions. This controls how far each blade will turn about the part. Next, it's time to create the profile of the sweep. So I'll create another plane at the desired angle on which to create the sweep's profile sketch. To do this, I can simply start a new plane, select my new helix as the first reference, and the second reference will be the point at the end of the helix. And voila, I have my new plane. I then created my profile sketch of the sweep, which will make the initial blade. To make sure that I have the sketch in the correct spot, I made the helix sketch visible and used that center point to locate my new sketch entities. Notice how the rectangle overlaps the center of the part and the end is sticking out of the part. This is intentional, and I'll show you how I cut away any excess material later on. Then I created my sweep, using the sketch I created on the angled plane as the profile and the helix as the path of the sweep. For my sweep settings, I used follow path, set the twist control to degrees, and set it at 60 degrees. This controls how drastic the blade's twist along the path will be. Next, I'll use a circular pattern with the center axis as the direction, equally spaced 6 times around the part. And our turbine wheel is starting to take shape. Now, using the same technique as before, it's time to add the smaller blades. I'll add a plane halfway through the part and create my helix sketch there. This time the helix parameters will be different to reflect my desired shape and location of the shorter blades. And again, like before, I'll use the helix and its endpoint to create a plane. Next, I created my profile sketch and then completed the sweep. Lastly, I patterned the new blade around the part. Now, the last major step is to clean up the excess material poking out around the part, and to better define the shape of the blades. I want them to have a radial shape similar to the base geometry. I can do all of this by using 2 features. I'll show you how. The first step is to create a sketch for a surface revolve. This sketch will act as a side profile from any angle of the part. You can see that I used a spline for this sketch and dimensioned it as well, this time using an angle dimension to fully define the lower spine handle. Now, I'll use this sketch to create a revolved surface that engulfs our part, except for the excess material of each blade that's partially sticking out. The next feature, Cut with Surface, cuts away any of that excess material in the shape of my revolved surface. I'll hide this surface, and you can see that the bottom of the part now has a clean surface, and each blade was cut to the desired shape. All that's left to do is add some finishing touches, such as a hole through the center, and fillets around the blades of the part. Now you've seen how to 3D model a compressor wheel using SolidWorks. It goes to show that some models are actually much simpler to create than they look, and sometimes the designer just needs an example to get started. Turbines and compressor wheels come in a variety of shapes, and I recommend you try designing one of your own. We'd love to see what you come up with.